The following episode will contain spoilers. You have been warned.
You're listening to Cinema IRL, the podcast that throws you into the movie and asks the question, what would you do? Man, don't you just hate when your retirement day turns into a race against the clock to save your son's life? Me too. Amber and Scott discuss this after seeing Neglected, and now, Cinema IRL.
I wish I could switch places for just one day.
What would you do?
Put yourself in my shoes.
How do we handle this?
What would you do?
Put yourself in my position.
What would you do?
Now it's your turn.
So this is a nice case of being reminded that sometimes you better be careful who you ignore. They might try to get your attention other ways.
That's true. And when it comes to something as upsetting as what one of our main characters went through, it makes sense in some ways that he lashed out in really bad ways because he didn't feel heard. Now, certainly not condoning it, but there was a lot happening here.
Yeah, because he was, would you say, neglected?
He was. All right, folks. Well, just as Scott said, our movie tonight is called Neglected, or Today, or Overnight, or wherever you happen to be listening from. And this is a film about a young man. What would you say? He was maybe early 20s or so? Mid-20s, something?
Yeah, early to mid-20s.
A young man who was raised in the foster care system and was abused as part of the system. And
it should be noted that we learn all of this over time.
Yeah. Initially, we see him committing a murder, and he goes to the police station and says, I'd like to report a murder. But the film itself is about the relationship with this character, AJ, and one of the detectives, and that AJ has admitted to a murder and at the same time has captured the detective's son and buried him alive where he only has 10 hours of air, and is telling the detective, you need to solve some crimes here or else your son's going to die.
Yeah. Not only did he admit to murder, he committed one in the police station.
Yeah, and actually that was number 4 because his murder to report was actually 4 individual murders. And you're right, he did take out one of the cops at the police station as well. And seems to be kind of happy-go-lucky about it all. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, happy-go-lucky. You could tell there was definitely a level of disturbance within him.
Well, he was very...
he was at endgame. For him, this was endgame.
He was immune to the emotions that a normal person would have. He was very matter-of-fact and kind of glib.
Well, he knew what he was doing, and he knew what he had done. There's no getting out of that. There's just not. You're definitely toast, but it's like one of those things you're going to hear me now because I'm going to force you to hear me.
Yeah, and as we discuss this, there are some interesting what would you do's, but much like many mysteries, we start getting more evidence, more facts, more intel as the story unfolds. So we're going to be looking at this holistically and not necessarily in order, just to address all of these. So let's start with the basic premise, which is you're a detective and someone comes in, confesses to a murder, and basically says, yeah, I need you to do your job as a detective and solve some cases, or else your son, who I've abducted and buried alive, is going to run out of air and die.
Doesn't really give him a lot of options at that point, does he?
No.
But, though, listen, this would not make for a very good movie. But the guy did bring up...
Which guy?
The kid.
AJ
did bring up the camera feed of his son being buried
Detective Shaw's son. Yeah.
on Shaw's phone. So what you do at that point is you hand this to IT people who are able to basically trace where that camera's coming from.
But can you do that if it's buried?
Well, so here's the thing: you're going to get an IP address, and yes, they could if it's buried because it's got to still be reporting. Like if the camera can get out to report it, surely. Yeah, well, yes, okay. So it's they can find the IP address, and from the IP address, they can determine.
I'm thinking about what your movie looks like is basically just watching a guy at a computer rapidy tap, tap, tap on his keyboard doing some IT stuff.
Just saying they can use the IP address to determine if this is like a landline or a non-mobile situation or a mobile. If it's mobile, then it is tied to a phone number, whether or not it can be called or not. So they would then just reverse look up the phone number. It would figure out who the carrier is with. You get the fastest warrant ever to go to the judge and say, I need to know who this person is. And at least then you can get a general area, at least based on that. And same with mobile. Like either way.
Okay, so what would you do is you go to the IT department.
Yeah, and if it's...
for some reason, that amuses me.
And if for some reason it was home-based, it's even easier because you could go to losing my mind here. You could go to the internet provider and say, I need to know physically where this IP is connecting from.
Okay. Yeah, no, you're right. That would not make for a
That'd be
really
a terrible
compelling
movie.
movie, but I do understand that.
Terrible
as your,
movie.
what would you do? So
I'm just saying I had to smart the kid.
we have Detective Shaw at this point who has been sent to an initial scene where he's going to find a clue. And he goes there, he finds the first body, he finds a clue. It takes him to another location where he finds a body, he finds a clue. And then a third location, he finds a body, he finds a clue. And the continuing theme across all of these crime scenes, which AJ has perpetrated in killing all these people, is they didn't see something, they didn't hear something, they didn't say something.
I have to say something. You remember in the movie when I said, do you want a spoiler?
Yes.
It wasn't a spoiler because it was a prediction. When they were at the social worker, I said, I was going to say, the killer's brother is dead. It could have been sister, but the killer's brother's dead.
Well, I'm glad I didn't let you ruin that for me.
Yeah.
Then. No, I definitely don't want to hear your predictions and ruin.
In
movies
fairness,
for me.
my predictions are not, they're not batting the highest percentage ever, but I would have gotten a hit on that one.
Yeah, no, I'd like to see the story unfold on my own. So thank you for abiding by my request to not hear your prediction. So after the third crime scene, Detective Shaw still doesn't have his son. And he's getting growingly frustrated. And the mayor has brought in a SWAT team, which seems like overkill, even though AJ has killed a cop while in custody.
Now,
regardless, it's like, why would you bring in the SWAT team?
mind you, after the third one, they also went to the school to talk to someone who wasn't dead, but they knew would be able to tell the story of what actually... Basically, he would find out exactly why he was doing this.
Detective Shaw would find out
By
why
talking to
AJ was doing this.
Yeah.
So, and that takes us to another layer of this mystery is that it turns out the mayor of this town is funneling money into the foster care system that ultimately goes to basically a fight club for foster kids where they have to beat the hell out of each other. And people place bets, and they're in a ring, and they're cheering, and it's terrible.
Yeah, it was straight up Fight Club, only people die. And if they die, they apparently, quote unquote, committed suicide.
Yeah, I've got to say, it seemed like, based on the information we got from the teacher at one point, it seemed like at least AJ was old enough, 5 years older than the kid that was kind of his adopted foster brother, real you're my bro kind of a thing. It seemed like if he was 5 years older, that he was old enough to say, we got to get the hell out of here. People leave bad situations when they're in foster care because unfortunately there's as important of a job as it is to be a foster parent, there's a lot of people who just do it for the money and are not good foster parents. And you have people who are not good foster parents, and you have people who just do it for the money. So my what would you do is, if you're a kid and you're going through that and you're 5 years older than the other one, obviously these kids were teens. Like, we saw a flashback. At least he was a teenager. I would take that young boy that I considered a brother, and I would get the heck out, because it doesn't matter how hard your life is. If you're a teen trying to survive on your own, at least you're not literally fighting for your life.
Oh, he didn't consider him a brother. He actually was his brother.
Are you sure?
Oh, yeah.
He was his actual real brother?
Yeah, that was his real brother.
Okay.
Yeah, they definitely made it clear that he was very protective of his younger brother, is what the person at school said, because she had them both in class.
Yeah, no, I heard that. I just assumed he thought of him as a brother. But anyway, regardless. So, yeah, I mean, and I don't want to oversimplify a complicated situation, but if you are literally getting stabbed and in these Fight Club type things for kids, I would do whatever I had to do to get away.
The problem is, the situations like that will absolutely beat the crap out of you psychologically, and you lose the ability to think like a sane person.
Yeah.
Like you think, I'm just stuck. There's nothing I can do. I'm stuck. And what you're saying obviously makes a lot of sense and is what you should do. But
no, I understand that. I mean, that happens with women who are with abusive husbands or partners who say, you can't survive on your own. You'll never get away. I mean, yeah, there's definitely self-esteem issues and things like that. I certainly don't want to oversimplify it, because you're right.
And here's the thing too. He did try.
Well, AJ tried in the fact that he did go to Detective Shaw several years ago to report what was happening, and Detective Shaw unfortunately agreed to have it passed over to another detective, who is part of this entire insane kid fighting ring. And that's why AJ kidnapped Detective Shaw's son, because in his mind, Detective Shaw didn't do his job and actually look into this. So,
I mean, there's chain of command on stuff like that. And if Deacon really was the one who did child cases, then that would be what would happen in most cases. But you can't expect a kid who's getting the crap beat out of him every night to understand police chain of command.
Well, and he didn't know. It's not even like he had to understand it or not understand. He didn't know. He left this information with Detective Shaw, and nothing changed. Nothing happened. He certainly didn't realize that it got passed off to someone who was part of all of the corruption. So what would you do at this point where we ultimately see Detective Shaw gets his son back, and all of the information of what's been happening with this child fighting ring has come out, and you realize that it's the mayor. The mayor is involved. The mayor is the one that's funneling the money. Keep in mind as well that Detective Shaw was going to retire on the day that all of this happened.
Yeah, well, I think the relationship between Shaw and AJ got at least to a place, I think, of mutual understanding near the end. Obviously, he's not going to condone all these murders, but Shaw. But he's going to look into it, and he's going to be like, well, it's not what I would have done, but I can understand someone snapping to this level. And I think AJ got a little softer on him, like when it got to be like real, like right near the end before he got shot. Like, he knew the kid didn't deserve to die. His kid didn't have anything to do with it. So, and that is one thing. He was fairly targeted in his murders against people he felt were the actual people who hurt them. I'm almost surprised that he was actually buried in the first place, like restrained or something.
Jackson, AJ's brother.
No.
He was buried. Oh, Aaron.
Aaron.
Detective. Okay, you're saying he for like 4 people.
Yeah,
so.
I know. That's what I do. It's my thing. So, yeah, I think AJ, in the end, did want the detective to get his son back, which is why he told him. But I don't know. This movie was very Seven-esque, though not as good.
That's a Brad Pitt movie, right?
Yeah.
I have not seen that one.
Have you really never seen Seven?
No.
Holy crap, you have to see that movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll do it. I'll frickin' do it.
We hope you enjoyed our episode. Thank you for listening. And to catch all the new episodes, please subscribe. We release 2 to 3 episodes weekly, so we'll have new content regularly. Until next time.